attention today is going to have our project director, Mr. ARULJOTHI's work on SALEM land tenure practices in achieving food security. Our project director is not in the station, but he is very committed, and he worked last 3 days on this project. What he wanted to interact with you and what he wanted to convey to you, that he is coming to meet through a video developed by him. So thanks to the advent of the technology. And before going to watch his video conversation, let me read out his profile. And first of all, I would like to thank him for his wonderful effort. He has a very good team like Condenser, the assistant project director of this district, and Murugan sir and other top excellent videos, blog development officers, and they are all here to listen what he said. And for scholars, it will be very useful to you to pick some thread from it, and thereby you can think of doing a research on this topic. And this also gives you an opportunity to know what kind of developmental activities taken by the administration for improving the living standard of the people through providing a decent land administration and by ensuring food security. Our project is also aiming to connect these two variables. And our project director has also made his wonderful efforts to bring out these two things. And he has done a lot of work. He shared today with what kind of effort he has taken for this. So let us see and give your opinion. And a person like him, it's very difficult to spend 2 days for preparing a work on this, so it shows his commitment. And I'm very proud to read the profile of our guest Thiru, ARULJOTHI, Project Director of DRDA, SALEM, who has completed his ME in Public Administration in 2001 and served in several districts of DRDA in Tamil Nadu. Prior to joining as Project Director in DRDA SALEM, Thiru ARULJOTHI held a key position as a General Manager with ARU, Chennai, and prior to that he served in DRDA of Kanchipuram and Vellore districts. During his tenure, Thiru ARULJOTHI has secured many awards, and the following are the few remarkable among them. Best Performance Award for NREGS at Kanchipuram district, Best Performance Award for NDDB in ARU. He got a special award from the Chief Minister for the quick rescue of MONI incident. You know the MONI incident is very big chaos. And as a project director, he has taken many initiatives in DRDE for the development of SALEM district. And another remarkable achievement, what he has done is he has received Best Performance Award for Tsunami Actions. You know what kind of tsunami the impact created. So for that also he has received Best Performance Award. So we are really blessed to have such an eminent person with us, and he is the motivator for the student development activities also. So with this, I would like to welcome the gatherings once again and completely give your attention for his idea about the activities that are all going on and what kind of actions really required in the future. So thank you very much.
Land area mappings and security aspects through various schemes. I also extend my thanks to the University of ARULJOTHI, London, England, and the Vice Chancellor of Thiru University and Registrar of Thiru University for giving us the opportunity of the British period. As far as the Madras presidency is concerned, Sir Thomas Munro in 1820 he created the Rayapari system. That is, the person who is growing the land will be the owner of the land. That is the concept of the ancient period. Without disturbing the lateral spirit of the ancient nature, background movement, or important movements during the universal movement, and then after independence got enacted in that. Tamil Nadu was enacted to reserve the land received as donation.
Okay, so I'm standing in for Professor Elangovan, who is not able to be here at the moment. So it's amazing that when you have a very good presentation, you don't actually need the person here. I'm not saying we don't always need the person, but I got a lot from that. I just want to make a few links to what he said and the presentation we had yesterday. So for example, we had Professor Divakar come. He talked about the land revenue system. He talked about food security. My expertise is more land revenue, so I'd like to focus on that. It's very interesting, his first part of his slides for the first about 20-25 minutes. For me, the differences between that presentation and this presentation, this was very local. Land is a very local matter as such. So yesterday we got to know more about the administration from the north of India, and we got to know more about the, and one part that was interesting for me was the polygars of Madras. So that was the only new information I got yesterday. And the other things was confirming some of the things I knew. In this, I found it very interesting because the period between the Sangam and the British period was covered quite nicely in this. So for me, and for my project team, I believe, and some of you who are involved in a project, that's actually quite important because we start filling up some of the information gaps we have in the last 3,000 years. Depending on, with my meager knowledge of Sangam, I presume like the third Sangam was about 3,000, 3,500 years old. Okay, so what's also interesting, which is also going to be the theme of today, is looking at lands which are much more diverse, diversely controlled, different types of ownership. So all the points he mentioned about village land was not really the king's land. Village land was the village people's land. And then why would you want to, how would you acquire a right on land? He said, if you plow the land, you acquire a right on land. Yeah, it's quite an interesting, different concept to someone like me who has studied theories of possession in different ways. So one is ownership in different ways. One is if you possess it. Yeah, possession is 9 counts in the law. That's something we read when we start reading property law and land law. Possession is 9 counts in the law. There are only 10 counts needed for the law. So if you have possession, that means you actually have the right to ownership. In this case, if you plow, then you have the right to ownership. And there are various other theories about if you control, okay, in whatever way you might not actually even possess, you might not even plow, then you actually have, then you're a landowner. So all of these points are very, very interesting in this. So I hope you took away some interesting points for yourself. Okay, whatever they might actually be. So I would actually like to thank whoever brought us this presentation. Who is from the DRDA office here? Okay. I found it so you've actually recorded the slides and the audio separately, and then you've taken a film of him in person and then actually did it together. Well done, I think that's really good. For once I'm actually seeing the IT skills of India, I think. So far, I've never been impressed with IT skills. Thank you very much for that, because without this, it would have been possible for us to have this really good presentation. So thank you so much for that. You know, I'm a bit disappointed whenever I open the SALEM directory. I can give you the statistics. In the last 2 months, in one day if I open it, I'll only get to see it for 2 seconds and then it will say something is wrong with it. So the collectorate website is there, but I keep losing contact with it. And as someone who wants to work with it daily, I can't access the site. If I, like he said in food security, accessibility, it's not enough if it's there in some server. I need to access it whenever I want it. Otherwise, as a day-to-day researcher, I can't work with it. So I've not been impressed with IT skills, but this one has really impressed me. So thank you very much for that. Okay, I spoke because I'm only the next speaker after this. So I have to get on stage and speak to you. I know we are running, we started about half an hour late. So I'm going to have